Patreon, going strong. If you want to go over there and join in on the fun, we got 3 tiers on Canadian dollars. First tier is $3 a month, where you get these episodes ad free. You also get AMAs once a month, or learn about me episodes once a month. And then on the second tier, which is $5 a month, you get everything from the first tier, as well as coverage of a reality show of yesteryear. That's right now Jersey Shore, currently in season 3. You can also go to the main feed, where there will be the first episode of every season released there, so you can try that before you head over to the Patreon. And then on the third tier, you get everything from the first 2 tiers, as well as coverage from a true crime documentary. We got the backlog of Ashley Madison documentary, Man with 1,000 Kids, Into the Fire, Lacey Peterson, and again, all those episodes for the first episode of each is in the main feed, so you can try that before you head over. So if you are interested, you can head over to patreon.com/realityt times 2, and you can sign up for whichever tier you feel for. Again, you can try before you buy, which basically means you can try any tier for a week before committing to it. Even if you are on if you are on tier 1 or the first tier and you want to go over to the second tier, you could still try that second tier for a week before committing to the upgrade. So again, that is at patreon.com/realityt times 2. And of course, the link is in the show notes, website, social media accounts. It's all available there. Welcome to Reality T times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I'm Tanika, and today we are going to be discussing the 8th episode of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So before we do, just a quick announcement on the top here. You've already heard the advertisement for Patreon, but just as a reminder, on the third tier, we're covering Escaping Twin Flames. This month, you should be getting a clip of that very soon, if not already, with the first episode only. And then if you like what you hear, you want to hear more, or the remaining 2 episodes of the documentary, you can head over to Patreon, where episode 2 and 3 is exclusive to the Patreon. Otherwise, that's basically that. It's been a minute, but I do have some hot goss with this episode. So, just gonna bring it up. So, we do have some breakups that we're going to be talking about. I think we're going to be getting to all of it in this episode, but we'll see. If not, then there'll be more. But first thing, Lydia from Love is Blind has announced her divorce from Milton. And not only that, but she drops a shocking bombshell along with that. So, Love is Blind celebrity couple, yikes, Lydia and Milton have decided to end their marriage after 3 years. Lydia appeared on Amber 80's podcast on June 11th, where she revealed that life has been tumultuous since her time on Love is Blind. She then announced that she had decided to file for divorce from Milton, who is now 27. She's 34. Lydia said their split wasn't due to one thing, but rather a series of things over the years, and claimed that when she told Milton she wanted to serve him divorce papers, he refused to sign them, quote, unless there was an NDA in place. That's really interesting. That said, quote, that's not enough for me to know that I need to share my truth, Lydia said, adding that she's been suffering in silence and it has been too much to keep quiet. So people had reached out to Milton repeatedly for comment, but both social media and email, social media and email, and he has not responded. So Here's what we have. She detailed one of their first arguments in October of 2022, so just 6 months after they tied the knot, explaining that it was over a woman Milton dated in the past who he allegedly refused to, quote, cut off. Quote, he kept giving me excuses, she claimed, later detailing how she discovered text messages with his best friend in which Milton said the woman had, quote, been all around his dick lately and that he wanted to fuck her. Great. Quote, my heart went to the floor, Lydia said, of reading the messages. I felt betrayed and disrespected. After the incident, Lydia said she called Milton and questioned how long he had been feeling that way. Milton denied the allegations and insisted he wouldn't jeopardize his marriage, but she claimed he later flipped it on me and accused her of invading his privacy. Um, I didn't feel like the therapy was working, she said, acknowledging that she started to question herself and feel as though she was losing my spark, quote unquote. As things got worse, she claimed Milton often told her she was nagging him all the time and disrespected him by wearing my swimsuits. She recalled how Milton would allegedly scold her in front of his family because she was, quote, cussing too much in front of them. If you are doing that, though, that's disrespectful. You shouldn't do that. He kept making me feel small. Lydia also denied that their 7-year age gap and brief long distance relationship while he was in grad school played a role in their split. She insisted the split was simply due to a lack of Milton's emotional availability, maturity, which could potentially be part of his age, support, and communication. Maybe the internet was right that he wasn't ready for marriage. No shit, girlfriend. I don't think he was ready to be a husband. The reality star says she invited friends over for a pool party to celebrate her birthday last year, and Milton allegedly didn't help her get ready, aside from cleaning one guest bedroom. She claimed he stayed in another room, playing the Halo video game all day, as her friends questioned where he was. When Milton finally emerged, Lydia claimed he had an attitude towards me, which she described as very evasive and non-affectionate. She attempted to confront him about what was going on, but said he refused to discuss the matter. I felt so shut off and so alone, she said, noting that she went into full panic attack and meltdown mode, which resulted in Milton allegedly threatening to call the police. Other fights between the pair stemmed from Milton's discomfort with her swimsuits. She claimed that he told her, quote, I never want to imagine my woman as a promiscuous woman. Fuck. Wow. Has requested that she stopped posting photos in swimsuits. Lydia said she attempted to meet him down the middle and agreed to stop, but under the condition that he stopped liking pictures of other women in bikinis. However, things allegedly unfolded differently than she planned. Quote, I stopped and he didn't, she claimed. What stopped was him engaging with my posts. Um, So in September 2024, Lydia was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which, as we know, is a chronic condition characterized by intense body pain and fatigue, which she claims made things worse for their relationship. Lydia said the diagnosis ruined my life and claimed that Milton was far from supportive. Instead of him being my support, he told me, you're not dying. You just have to eat healthy and work out. How, how demeaning. Like, listen, I stand by Lydia's my favorite person. I didn't like how she handled things in her season with Uche. Um, but how demeaning, how belittling to kind of be like, oh, well, you're not dying, so just do this, this, or this. Um, I don't have fibromyalgia, but I have PCOS. And to kind of, yes, I'm not dying. Yes, like you know, obviously my conditions are very, very starkly different. But to basically say, well, what you're experiencing, well, it's not that bad. You're not, it's not terminal or some shit. You know what I mean? It's so like, but this is my experience. This is what I'm experiencing. And right now, this really fucking sucks. So to not have that kind of support from your husband or from your partner in general is, yeah, really sucky. Lydia also claimed she wanted to request a medical leave from her job in the wake of her diagnosis, but Milton allegedly told her, fuck no, despite the fact that she was the primary breadwinner in their home. That's probably why he said that. Lydia hit a breaking point after learning that Milton had allegedly been contacting other women. The reality star said she received messages from other women on social media claiming that Milton was flirting with them, pursuing them at bars, and paying for their drinks while he was out of town. She also got an email from one woman who claimed Milton invited her to his hotel and was texting and FaceTiming her at 4 a.m. with screenshots to prove it. That same woman also said Milton wasn't wearing his wedding ring at the time she met him and told her he wasn't married. That was it for me. I was like, I cannot continue. When she confronted Milton about this, Lydia said he tried to put the blame on her. Great. I never owned up to any infidelity claims. Lydia's mom actually confronted him at one point. Lydia said that they had one fight where Milton said he was 5 minutes away from throwing you out on the streets. She claimed he never apologized and insisted had the right to say that. During a separate instance in front of Lydia's mom, Lydia got upset during a fight and he allegedly accused her of not being able to control her emotions and said he was, quote, left women for much less. As a result, Lydia said her mom yelled at him for being cruel towards her. Lydia also claimed Milton made a snarky comment towards her mom, who primarily speaks Spanish, when she struggled to find the English word for disappointed. Following the confrontation, Milton allegedly claimed he wouldn't be disrespected in my house and insisted that he would have sent her mom to a hotel, which Lydia refused to let him do and told him over my dead body. Since March 31st, 2025, the relationship has been non-existent, according to Lydia. Lydia said she had been given the silent treatment by Milton ever since she asked for a divorce in March, despite the fact that they were living together in his parents' house. She also alleged that when she tried to have the conversation about divorce, he told her, "You're too fucking stupid and an untrustworthy person," is what he said to her. When asked if Milton was blindsided by the divorce, Lydia said no, but acknowledged that he didn't know she was going on AD's podcast. She admitted that she's worried about the public perception because people idolize him, but I have to do what's right for me. She also reiterated how I don't believe he loves me. She added, I still love him, unfortunately, I do. Lydia said Milton's parents had been supportive of her despite the turmoil in their marriage. I love them so much, they're my family. I don't want the relationship to end, and they will continue to be mom and pops for me. I'm very grateful. Lydia said she has been completely separated from Milton and living with her friend since March. She believes he would have kept dragging the relationship through because he was very comfortable in giving her scraps of attention. Despite the difficult circumstances, Lydia said she was looking forward to her future and putting this bad chapter behind her. She proudly stated, I'm never going to settle for less than I deserve. I'm not going to keep choosing feeling belittled, feeling dismissed. I cannot keep being in a place where I'm not wanted. I'm trying to put the pieces that he broke. So here's my thing. Yes, she does kind of say that he's, pretty much the fan favorite. But what I will say is, at the end of the day, I'm going to believe her. I'm going to believe that this is all true. And in that case, he's a shit person. You don't get to treat people that way. You just don't. So, yeah. Anyways, that's that update. Next, y'all, this is not even surprising. It makes me even more mad. So, Grant and Juliana from Bachelor have announced they are breaking up after 3 months. 3 months, actually, no, sorry, 3 months after the finale engagement. So they've been engaged longer, but it's been 3 months since the show. So Grant and Juliana are sharing a thorny update on their life after their final rose. The Bachelor's most recent leading man in his season 29 winner shared they have broken up just 3 months after their engagement was confirmed on the March season finale. Quote, this is one of the harder things I've had to write, but I want to share it honestly. Juliana and I have decided to end our relationship. And he wrote this on his Instagram story on June 13th. We both gave this our best and poured a lot of love into each other, but after a lot of deep conversations, we've come to the understanding they were simply not the right fit long term. No shit. We all know who he should have been picking. We all know. Yet this dumbass picked the wrong person. But anyways, he continued, what we had was meaningful. The connection we built on the show was real. Was it? Because I'm still confused. And so was the effort we made to continue once the camera stopped rolling. Grant went on to note the mutual respect he and his former fiance have for one another. There's no negativity here, no resentment, just two people who care about each other and want the best for one another moving forward. He concluded his post, I'll always be grateful for what we shared and for the growth that came with it. Thank you to everyone for support who supported us and believed in our journey. The chapter is closing, but we're both walking away with love and respect in our hearts. Juliana echoed his sentiment sharing. We're still cheering each other on, just from different places now. We shared something meaningful, navigating a unique journey side by side, learning, growing, and showing up for each other the best we knew how. And while this isn't the ending we once imagined, it's one filled with mutual respect, care, and hope for what's ahead. Um, okay, so that's basically it. I wish y'all the best. Yeah, not in the Sean Robinson way. So I guess just to end this one off, and then we'll end it here and um head into the episode for the reason we're here. Um, just kind of in the soft, she says that she's focused on healing. Um, because Carolina, whatever the fuck, has thrown some shade. And you know what? I don't know what she's gonna say, but I'm with her. um, so Juliana responded to Carolina's criticism about her on-screen appearance and broken engagement, saying, quote, Carolina's comments aren't surprising. This feels like an attempt to turn our breakup into engagement. That's her choice. As for me, I'm not interested in going back and forth. Eye for an eye isn't my vibe. So, but basically, she, I guess, said, and this was on June 15th, Carolina, whatever the fuck, to weigh in thanks to a series of seemingly shady social media videos. Quote, my opinion is anyone claiming to be ready for an engagement with The Bachelor without actually going on a one-on-one with that person is probably trying to win The Bachelor more than trying to connect with the actual human. Huh. Um, anyone who goes out of their way to shit on someone who's simply saying they're nervous about The Bachelor potentially meeting their family and how quickly everything is moving because there is an engagement at the end of it, probably not a very nice person. Damn. She had it. My opinion is that then lying and then saying that person had nothing good to say about that date is even worse. Branding yourself as a quote unquote nice girl is probably like you trying to overcompensate for something. We all know what you stand for. My opinion is that if she hadn't been the winner, quote unquote, everyone would have been a very different side to all of us. Um, so yeah, that's basically I think the gist of it. I mean, I hear her because I kind of said, obviously, if you remember in those episodes, kind of saying, I don't think anything that Carolina or Carolina, whatever, was saying was incorrect. This is not everyone's going to fall in love with The Bachelor right away. You know, you may find him attractive and fuck, he's one of the oddest bachelors. So, yes, he is very attractive, but that doesn't always necessarily translate into I'm falling in love with you. I want to marry you. That doesn't always translate to that, right? If I made it more translate into I want to fuck you. You know what I mean? So, or I just like your vibe or like whatever. So, I didn't think anything was wrong with that. Do I think she's a little cuckoo magoo? Absolutely. But I do think Juliana was a bitch in that season. not very nice. Um, but hey, like I said, I wish all idiots the best. Let's move on to the reason that we're here, and that is to talk Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, episode 8. So we find out that Taylor ended up going to the CMAs. She's like, I posted about being on the CMAs, and not one of the girls from Mom Talk messaged me about it to say, yay, congratulations, this is so cool, blah, blah, blah. So she posted about how she feels, and they're like, the fuck? They end up posting receipts, a lot of them, to basically say, bitch, yes, we did. We did acknowledge that you were at the CMAs. So why are you talking about it? It's like, ooh, Taylor, eesh, what are you doing here? This is going to be actually explained really well. And I'm going to kind of go through my thoughts and feelings through this. But bear with me. Hi, everyone. So I'm coming in with a song. The song is by Chester's Ghost, and the song is called Shadow of the Pain. I did get the song from the Podsafe music directory, which is a part of the World Podcast Network. So if you do like the song and you want to listen to it again, or you want to download it, you can go down to the show notes where you can find a link to the song, including the link to the Podsafe music directory, which is again a part of the World Podcast Network. So without further ado, I'm going to play that song for you now.
The weight on my shoulders, it's dragging me down. I'm lost in the darkness, I can't hear a sound. I scream for relief, but nothing remains, just the shadow of the pain. I'm fading away, but it's all the same. I'm haunted by the shadow of the pain. I can't escape no matter what I try. I'm trapped in a cycle, afraid to cry. The voices inside, they won't let me be. They whisper my name, they tear into me. I reach for the light, but it slips away in the shadow of the pain. I stay. I'm fading away, but it's all the same. I'm haunted by the shadow of the pain. I can't escape no matter what I try. I'm trapped in a cycle, afraid to cry. The walls are closing, I can't fight this storm. It's cold and it's bitter, but it's always warm. The shadows creeping, it's all that remains. I'm losing myself in the shadow of the pain. I'm fading away, but it's all the same. I'm haunted by the shadow of the pain. I can't escape no matter what I try. I'm trapped in a cycle, afraid to cry.
So we have Mayci, Demi, and Michaela talking about the post that Taylor did. Mayci says, I text her. I said, you know, yay, CMAs. And they say that Taylor doesn't text people, right away. Doesn't always acknowledge maybe that, people text her. So they're like, because of that, maybe give it 24 hours before you post something online saying we don't support you, you know? But that's not the thing. More on that in a minute. Macy says that she fixates on the social media, Taylor does. And we're going to see that. Demi says, well, you call it fixation, I call it narcissism. A disconnect in the brain, lack of maturity. She does this to herself. And it's like, okay, damn. I mean, I don't know if I necessarily think Taylor's a narcissist. I don't think she's a narcissist. Maybe there is definitely a disconnect in the brain, but look, her fucking family, I would have a disconnect in the brain too. Lack of maturity, I mean, funny coming from, like, I would say all these people have lack of maturity, but I'm just different, you know? So do we really call that a lack of maturity or just we're all living different lives? Anyways, we are with Taylor, and Leanne is here, of course, and her stepdad. Dakota's here too. He's picking up Ever, so he takes him and dips. So let's talk the shit about the friends here. They're gonna break this down. She says, yeah, some of them supported me privately. So she acknowledges, yes, people did message me, did text me to, support me through this. But publicly, there was nothing. Now, on the one hand, I'm like, so who gives a fuck? I would agree because Maisie kind of says, like, isn't privately a little bit more, isn't that better? Yes, I agree with her on that. I do. So I almost like, really though, then like the fuck, like you're making this into nothing. Like now, if you're upset about the, publicly no one saying anything, then you could address that with people instead of creating a post basically saying nobody loves me. You know what I mean? But then on the other hand, I kind of started to understand Taylor in this because I'm like, oh, that's right. These women are public figures. These women share Montauk. These women now share this reality show. We're expecting that at least 80% of these women are friends or at least care for each other, or at least going to support each other's endeavors. So if and I don't follow these people regularly. So, but if I did, and obviously there are other people that I follow. So if I were to be like, I don't know, following these women, all of them, and I see Taylor posting stuff about the CMAs and no one in Mom Talk or Secret Lives is posting their support for her, I'm going to be thinking, well, where are they at? You know what I mean? So I understand what she's saying. We are public figures. Now, one of you thought to post publicly your support of me on the CMAs. That looks like a shitty thing. I understand it now. So she says like we should be supporting each other both ways. She's saying like Demi was the bully, and we're saying that with her calling her a narcissist. Apparently, she's calling like to her face, calling her a narcissist, a manipulator, which is again I think stretches. Taylor's like, I feel like I don't deserve this because of the scandal with the swinging of it all. They're like, forget that. We all forgave you over that. And that's really great that they did. But clearly, Taylor is still really struggling with her choices, with coming out with saying anything. And it's funny because she kind of says, I'm always going to be known as the woman who swung, you know, kind of like, and it made me think and be like, well, maybe this kind of shows that we're more than just what we kind of We don't have to always have like this talent or whatever. Gone are did those days. Those days are over. But it kind of makes me realize it's like, okay, well, a lot of us, especially people who don't particularly love the Kardashians, will kind of be like, well, they're only famous because Kim was on her back, you know? But we can sway away from it. She doesn't always have to be known for that. Kim Kardashian or Taylor. You never have to always be known for that because you can branch away from it. Now, I don't know how Kim Kardashian felt about that sex tape being released, but with Taylor, we're seeing how it's affecting her, coming out and saying anything. And she obviously is in therapy to work through those things. But as weird as it is to hear her parents forgiven her, quote unquote, she has to forgive herself. And she hasn't gotten there yet. Um, so yeah, they do say that to her, like, we've forgiven you. You need to forgive yourself. She says the fact that no one posted about it was triggering. That do I really not deserve this? So that's what she's thinking of. Like, do I just not deserve this? And that's why no one's like saying anything. She's constantly doubting herself. So I get it. So Maisie and Michaela are going to talk to Taylor, after the whole situation. It's awkward, kind of initially. No one's really saying anything or addressing the elephant in the vehicle. She says, you all saw the story and no one said anything. She's talking about CMA alone here. She says the silence was loud. And Michaela says, how you worded it made it seem like we are not good friends to you. Like, doesn't the private support mean more than social media? Which, yes. Taylor doesn't feel bad about how she felt, which is like, okay, no one's saying she needs to necessarily feel bad about how she felt. How she felt in those moments were valid. Um, which is why I don't see an issue with her saying that. But she does say, I do feel bad about everyone being bullied. That was not her. She says it wasn't her intention. Whether I believe it or not, I don't know. But she said it wasn't her intention to have people bully anyone, or at least go to the extent that it's gone to. She just feel bad about that. She says, so maybe I need to apologize for the way it's affected everyone. Fair enough. So we are in San Diego with Macy. We're detouring here a little bit. We learn that she's actually been doing IVF this entire time and she didn't want to say anything. So she's actually doing her embryo transfer today. Um, so we'll see how that turns out very soon. So we got Layla and Taylor. They're gonna be doing a photo shoot. I think they were in New York. Taylor apologizes to Layla for how everything kind of transpired. But to me went hard back saying like I don't accept the apology. Or no, she wasn't just apologizing to Layla. She did like a group chat. And Denise appears to be the only person who kind of said like I don't accept that apology. Um, Layla is like, Demi is kind of being a bully here. She's saying like what she felt or saying is, fair, but like she's going too hard. She's taking it too far. I'll get to that when we get to it too. So Layla says like Demi asked if I was getting paid to do this photo shoot. Why does that matter? And what's it to you? Well, here's the thing. I think it's not even so much about, oh, Layla, are you making sure you're getting paid to do this photo shoot? It's more about, you know, are you getting paid? Because I don't know if you really deserve it. And B, if you're being paid, how much is it? Because I don't think you should make more than me. To me, has become fan favorite. No more. Oh, we'll get to that. Um, so she basically says, I think the Demi felt since she was a quote-unquote favorite, that Demi thought she should have been invited to the photo shoot. Get the fuck out of here. Then Taylor got a text from Demi saying, You're you're bringing, this is a quote from Demi, you're bringing a BB gun to an atomic bomb. Basically, I guess saying you ain't shit in this. I don't even know. It's so stupid. So Mayci, back with Mayci, we're kind of done for a second. Mayci did a pregnancy test and it is positive. She's pregnant. The embryo transfer worked. It's stuck. Yay. So Layla, back to Layla and Taylor. She just say, like, I kind of let them dictate how I feel. Yes. Yes, she definitely does. Like, definitely. She's like, they kind of dictated how I felt about Jen with the whole situation. And now it's happening with Taylor. So we're seeing a pattern here. And while that's being figured out, to me, is with Whitney, of all people. Whitney, the one that she like came for in season one, she didn't particularly like Whitney. They're getting their hair done. And Whitney says, like, I do think Demi takes things too far, but like I can see where she's coming from in this instance. So, I mean, I feel validated that Taylor is not a good friend. Bitch, where are you getting this from? So we're just doubling the fuck down on everything from before when we'll get to it. But Taylor is the only person who is stuck by Whitney when she didn't need to fucking do that. Because you made it very clear you didn't like her, you weren't her friend, you didn't show up at her baby shower, and yet Taylor has been showing up for Whitney this entire fucking time. But as soon as you find we'll get to Whitney's true intentions very soon. Don't you worry, y'all. We all thought she was reformed. No, she ain't. With Layla and Taylor. She shows her group chat, Layla, with everyone except Taylor. So it's like a bashing Taylor group chat, I guess. The thread is very harsh. Taylor says, Demi and Jesse basically are being bullies in this group chat towards Taylor. She's like, oh, so Demi, you have an atomic bomb for me? Bring it, because I got one too. Okay, okay. So they're at this party now. It's the same day, Sinners and Saints party. And Dakota's here, y'all. Dakota's like, listen, I got Taylor's back. It doesn't matter what's going on with us. I got her back. I'm here to support her. That's why I'm here. Okay, that's amazing. He's getting it. It's getting through to him. To me, is like, everyone is fed up here. Like, we're all pissed off at you, Taylor. And Taylor's like, well, don't talk to for everyone because that's not everyone's experience. And she's like, well, I talked to everyone. She's like, cool beans for you. So did I. I talked to people too, bitch. Demi's like, fuck you, Taylor. You're done. The fuck? All of this because okay, listen, it wasn't a cool situation, okay, what she did, but this is too fucking far. Like, this is like, it's like she's acting like she killed her dog. This is ridiculous. Jesse says, why didn't you say something? Like, if you felt this way, Taylor, like, why didn't you say something? Fair. Taylor says, I think you're a bully. Oh, okay. And then she kind of redirected that to me. So Layla, through all of this, is saying nothing. And the thing is that Taylor kind of said to Layla, after, everything was kind of being shown to her, prove to me that I can, like, depend on you when I actually confront her and say something. And Layla's like, oh, no, of course, I'm going to say things. I'm going to support you. Not a fucking shit. Not a fucking shit. Now, Layla will give her this. She is the youngest one there, but shit. Taylor says, like, you're fake. She's like, how am I fake? Well, Jesse, she says, you're bad at hair. Oh, shit. So Demi is literally saying to people, Oh, Jessie, who's supposed to be my best friend, she fucking sucks at doing hair. Wow. Um, and of course, Demi denying it. Well, Miranda and Whitney are defending Demi, which is like, Miranda, shut the fuck up. You're not even at Mom Talk. She doesn't even go here. Seriously. And Whitney, I mean, bitch, she is like literally, she needs to be hit by a bus. Like, she's the Rachel McAdams of this situation. Um, and then Demi says, you're horrible to Dakota. The fuck? Why are we talking about Dakota? Did we miss the memo? Did we forget that Dakota fucking lied about Jenna? But Taylor's being horrible to Dakota. Okay, cool. She's like, let's bring our, I think it's her or Taylor's like, let's bring him in. Let's bring him in. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's bring him in for what? And then to me, like this weirdo she is, she's like, actually, no, like, let's like not do that. Because like, I don't want to like affect Ever. Don't bring Ever into this. Ain't no one bringing Ever into this. Bitch, keep his name out of your mouth. Don't be bringing her kids into this. Then Demi starts talking about like the whole drinking situation. If you remember from season one, kind of talking about how like, basically saying like, you affected your kids or some shit like that. Like she's basically really coming for her mothering, her parenting, and the darkest times in her life. And it's like, what all of this because she posted some tone deaf shit on social media? Girl, what is this all about? I'll tell you what this is all about. She's literally just trying to kick Taylor down, knowing that Taylor is the quote unquote leader of Mom Talk. And she wants to be the leader of Mom Talk. She's going about this all fucking world. Anyway, um, Whitney says, I just want to know, like, are you sorry? Bitch, we want to know if you're sorry too for not coming to the baby mama launch, for taking yourself out of Mom Talk, for talking shit about people. Oh, but no, you don't feel bad about any of those things because I wouldn't have been able to learn from them. Take several seats, I piss on pregnancy tests and stick them in cakes. Whose husband is most likely gay? Jesus fucking Christ. Anyway, and she's like, for how it made you feel. And she's like, yes. Then Taylor and Jesse kind of talk separate from everybody. And she says, listen, like, I told you all of this. Like, I don't know if I should have told you any of this, but like, it needs to be kind of known that Demi is not a good fucking friend. And Jesse says, listen, I am happy that I know. I don't think I would have known otherwise. And she says, like, I feel deflated because, like, the person who is supposed to be her friend is not her fucking friend. She's a horrible, horrible person. Fan favorite, Noma. Anyways, that is it for episode 8. We're going to be jumping in with episode 9 very soon, and I will have an announcement episode 9. I think, fingers crossed, hopefully, like, I can say it or not have to take it out or whatever, but I will have an announcement in episode 9. Otherwise, that's it, guys. That's it for this episode. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps, every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality T times 2 pod. We also have our email, which is at realityt2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there. And you can find me there at www.realityt times 2, all spelled out, dot podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks.